Shields up, Ironbreakers. Welcome back to Granblue Fantasy Relink, and earlier today, Cygames had themselves a little live stream to celebrate the 10th anniversary for Granblue Fantasy. Naturally, during that live stream, they also announced some of the new things that we can expect coming to Granblue Fantasy Relink, and in this video, I'm going to be going over all of those things, the good as well as the bad, because we do have a little bit of a bad news. I'll get into it in just a bit, but let's start by taking a look at one of the new things that's coming to the game, which is obviously the Lucilius quest, which is going to be introduced on the 14th of March.
It calls to mind the time you and I squared off against our greatest foe.
My apologies for Twitter quality.
Let us commence the dark opus. Your end is nigh. To ash with you. You shall bend before my might.
He controls the power of the Tetra elements?
Vexatious wings. At least they serve a purpose.
How dare you use Lucifer's power for your own ends?
Mere scrap. I will eliminate you and the singularity. Don't get ahead of yourself. God will fall, and you shall join him.
All right, as you guys can see here, the name of the quest is The Final Vision. It is coming on March 14th, and that is when we get to fight Lucilius. But naturally, you also saw another character there, which was Sandalphon. Victors of the highest order, Supreme Primarch Sandalphon has a request for you. Join him in a climactic battle against Lucilius in a new proud difficulty quest, The Final Vision. This is for update 1.1, and it is going to arrive, like I said, on March 14th. So hopefully this quest will be significantly more challenging than the stuff we have in the game right now, because at this point in time, my characters can pretty much murderize anything in the game. Nothing's really that challenging, but I did come to accept over the many hours that I've spent playing Granblue Fantasy Relink that this is fundamentally the basis of the game. It is meant to be a little bit challenging on the way up, and then you just get to completely break the game by becoming ridiculously overpowered. That's just the design of Granblue Fantasy Relink. So, you know, that's kind of like what I predict for Lucilius. He's going to be challenging for a couple of hours, and then after that, you're just going to be farming him like you've been farming everything else. Now, there's a couple more things because we have a bit of an update to the roadmap. We already knew that Lucilius was coming on March 14th, and then we know that in April, we're going to be getting two new characters in the form of Seophon and Taewin, but we're also going to be getting Sandalphon in May. Sandalphon being the character that joins us in the Lucilius fight. Sorry if I'm straining a little bit. It's just I'm a little bit sick. My throat is still on the mend from a cold that I got. So, you know, it is what it is. Well, let's take a look. They've also released some new gameplay for Seophon and Taewin. Before that, we have here Rajori's Sandalphon Enjoyers. The Supreme Primarch himself will join in the roster of playable characters. Future update come in May. The Primal Beast commands the Archangels. So this is like the general of the Archangels or something. The Archangels. I'm sorry, I say Arch. I'm not a native English speaker, my bad. They themselves are primals created to regulate the Sky Realm. He also oversees the Sky Realm's Tetra Elements. He will join you in May 2024. Then we also have some gameplay here for, this is it Seophon? Assuming it's Seophon, right? Or did I mess that up?
Need some muscle.
Yeah, Seophon. The Sword Sovereign.
Tear them apart.
Interesting that his weapon kind of like changes shapes in the middle of combos. Is that Spanish or Italian?
Nothing to it. Look to the heavens.
Or maybe it's
Now
Latin.
You have the Sword Sovereign's aid.
Damn.
Now, the finale. The Sword Sovereign
The SBA.
reveals his strength. Cien mil espadas.
I think that sounds Spanish, actually. That's kind of cool. that is our boy Seofon. He's going to be one of the new characters. He's going to be jumping in April. And then here we have Taewin, which is another character, this one, the world-class hunter, also the bow master of the Eternals. Armed with her magical bow and the ability to fly, she excels at long-range combat.
Leave the hunting to me. Over here. Here goes.
Looks like she's got anti-grav boots almost. They're just like a little pink aura on her shoes. Paralysis? Whoa, 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 whoa. Excuse me? Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Look at that. Debuff, debuff, debuff. So that's like lower defense, lower offense, on fire, and poisoned? What the hell is that skill? Dude, look at that. It's just like, oh, let me just put 4 debuffs on you. Look at it. Okay, attack down. That's what that symbol is. Defense down. On fire. And poisoned. Oh, wait, there was another one. Oh, no, it's just cycling through them. What the hell? More like the master of debuffs. Damn, that SBA. That's nice. Well, that's for everybody that wanted to play a bow, because there's always a bunch of people that's like, oh, what about bows? I remember that this was actually a big deal when Granblue Fantasy Relink came out, that a lot of people were like, oh, there's no bow weapon. What do you mean? But yeah, there it is. That would be Taewin. Now, a couple of more things, and this is important. Now, I was expecting to see if they were going to give more details, like in terms of balancing patches or something like that. Turns out that information is not available here. They say version 1.1, and they talk about new quest, the final vision. Oh, proud Skyfarers, victors of the highest order, Supreme Patriarch Primarch, Sandalphon has a request for you. Join him in battle against the ultimate foe, Lucilius. Now comes the paid content. Now, I want you to understand something. When it comes to paid content in these games, I'm not a fool. Like Monster Hunter World had a bunch of paid content, Iceborne as well, Rise as well, Sunbreak as well. I'm not against paid content, especially if you're going to keep supporting the game for free. I think that's fine. The thing to me is, what is the nature of the paid content? And when it comes to Granblue Fantasy Relink, I actually have a little bit of a problem with what the paid content is. We're going to get into it. So the first one is an emote expansion set. This is not a problem. I think this is fine. Not an issue at all. You get rock, paper, scissors, shadow box emote, inspire emote, whatever. Not really a big deal. But then the self-improvement pack, Stronghold 5. This sigil is actually not that big of a deal. In my opinion, this is not a big deal. Gold Spellbook, this is basically EXP. You can level up characters super fast by using these books. This is also not a big deal because there's a quest in the game that just lets you do this and you just like go through it. And it's not a problem, but at the same time, it is something that affects gameplay. Some people will argue whether or not this is pay to win. In my opinion, it is, but it is to a degree that it doesn't really bother me that much. Then we have Ambrosia. Now, Ambrosia is a little bit more troublesome. So this just gives you 30,000 MSP, Mastery Skill Points, which again is not really a big deal because you can get this by just playing the game. You play the game, you get tons of these spell points. Not really a big problem. Glitter Crystal Clusters, I actually don't remember how important these are. They're probably not that important because I don't really remember ever specifically needing to farm for these. So you probably get these by the truckload just by playing the game. I would imagine because again, like I said, I never had to farm these. Now, Gold Dahlia badges, these are valuable and these are not easy to get. I mean, the process through which you get them is easy, but the quantity that you get is actually not that much. Usually you can get like, I don't know, depending on the way that you play the game, because it's kind of weird, the process. You have to go do these quests online, and then after you do the quest, they give you these tickets, then you do the quests again, and you apply the tickets, and you get these Gold Dahlia badges. But it takes a while for you to get 25 of these badges. So this particular item bothers me a little bit, not too much, because fundamentally the stuff that you can get from these badges that actually has an impact in game you'll usually want to get better versions of these by grinding it out through the what's it called? I forget the thing that you do the gacha pulls on essentially in this game, which is to get a bunch of sigils and stuff like that. That's the stuff that you really want to get. The Transmarvel, yeah, that's the process. Those are way more important, Transmarvel rolls, to get good stuff. But Gold Dahlia badges I feel like are rare enough in the game that 25 bothers me a little. Then we have the Weapon Uncapped Items pack. So in here, Potent Green Sigil, not really a big deal. No, I don't even use this one. It is a decent sigil, but I don't even use it, so it's whatever. I don't even care that much about it. We have the glitter crystal clusters. Doesn't really bother me too much. And then the Gold Dahlia badges again, which is bothersome. And then you have some Damascus ingots. You guys might be wondering, what is Damascus ingot? This allows you to bypass one upgrade tier of your weapon. So if you're upgrading a weapon, you don't have materials, you can pop one of these Damascus ingots in there, and it will just skip that tier to the next one. So this is something that allows you to actually save up quite a bit on upgrade materials. So this is a pretty valuable thing. But again, the Damascus ingots I don't think is the worst because grinding the materials for the weapons is not that big of a deal. Weapon Upgrade Items pack. Now this is going to be the thing that I predict a lot of people are going to buy. And let me tell you why. It's not because of the Fortitude Crystals. I've made a video about grinding Fortitude Crystals. These are super easy to get. This is not a problem at all. If you just watch my video, you'll be able to get these, so many of them, by not even playing the game. You can just be AFK farming these suckers and just check in on your character every hour, and you'll just get tons and tons of these. More than you'll know what to do with, basically. But still, you know, it is something that you can get. Again, we have the Gold Dahlia badges. I'm not a big fan of that. But this right here, in my opinion, is a problem. And I already know there's going to be a lot of players that are going to say, well, what do you mean? I've been grinding the game for ages and I still don't have my War Elemental Sigil. This is great. I can just pay $3 and get my War Elemental Sigil. It's about time. And the problem that I have with it is like, see, there you go. You've actually just explained the whole problem right there. In that sense that you said, you've grinded the game for hours. This is a problem that the developers have created themselves, which is the rarity of this particular sigil, and now they're selling you the solution. And personally, I have a problem with that. Like I've already said, I'm not going to be fighting this fight. I've said this at the beginning of the year. I'm not fighting this fight. Like, I don't care. I have 3 or 4 of these already because I've played the game to a ridiculous degree. I've for like 250 hours, something like that. I don't even know. I've played a ton, and I have 4 of these War Elemental Sigils, right? So to me, doesn't affect me at all, but I already know that there are going to be people that are going to be buying this pack specifically for the sigil because this is one of the most powerful sigils in the game. This is pretty much a mandatory sigil to have in any build. Like, this literally works for any build. It's fantastic on any build, and it is something that everybody's going to want to have on every single one of their characters that they're actively using equipped, okay? And now, again, this brings up a situation wherein this is a very rare sigil. And the rarity of this sigil, basically now developers have an even more incentive to make it, you know, keep it at that rarity. Whereas I think that this sigil should actually be a little bit more common because I know of people that have hundreds of hours of gameplay. At least people have told me in the comment sections of my videos, they have hundreds of hours of gameplay and they still don't have this sigil. And now that the developers are selling it to you, I just don't like it. I think that's not a particularly good look, but you know, that's just my opinion. It's whatever. And then finally we have Sigil Upgrades Pack Item 1, which has Flight Over Fight. I don't even remember what this one does. I know that I don't use it. Gold Dahlia Badge, again, coming in, and then Azurite Splendor. Now this is one of the most important things because what this does is, I almost feel like this might have been something that the developers might have made a mistake when they were coding it, because this is essentially Damascus ingots, except instead of it being for weapons, it is for sigils. Now, the reason why I say there might have even been a mistake is because unlike Damascus Sigil, which skips one tier, so like say your weapons level, I forget what the level of the weapons are, but let's say your weapon's like level 5, and you want to get it to level 6. You use one of these, boom, Bob's your uncle, it's done. When it comes to the Azurite Splendor, this is for sigil. So say you want to upgrade your sigil and it's at whatever level you use one of these. It's now max level. making these extremely valuable because it allows you to skip a ton of grind by using these bad boys. And these are not easy to get. The only way to get these, as far as I'm aware, is by fully completing out a character. You get like one of these or something like that. This means crafting all the weapons for that character, upgrading all the weapons for that character, upgrading all of her mastery nodes, all of that stuff, and then you get one of these. The other way is to find the rainbow slime, and the rainbow slime is super rare. I think I've killed one. The whole time that I've played the game, my 200 hours, I was able to kill one rainbow slime. Maybe two. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, suffice it to say, these are super rare. And 10 of these is basically 10 fully upgraded sigils. I don't like this. And again, if people want to argue whether it's pay to win or not, this to me is the most paid. This as well as, where is it? This as well as the War Elemental Sigil are the two most pay to win items in this thing. Now, an important thing to also bring up is that even though these things are considered pay to win, it is important to mention that can only be purchased once per account. So it's not like you can just buy a bunch of these. You can buy one of them. So that mitigates the pay to win elements of it in a way. But at the same time, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Like, I have no problems with this. And in a lot of ways, I don't even have a lot of problems with a lot of the items in here. I can even give them the Dahlia badges. I don't care that much. But like War Elemental Sigil and Azurite Splendor, I think is taking it too far. But whatever, you know, it is what it is. I'm still excited to play the game. I'm still going to play the game once Lucilius comes out. Probably going to be live streaming the whole thing here on the channel if you guys are looking forward to that. But yeah, and there's going to be more free content to the game, and there's going to be more paid content to the game. So, you know, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe. Peace out.